Right guys, Warhawk82 here, and this is my next installment of my story, my zombie story so far. Basically, we're in Shimanuma, and there, as you can see there's Peter, the so-called person that's, you know, went ahead of the four, and obviously a tragedy happened, and you know, he's missing his arm. Now I think he's quite symbolic because he's lost his arm, and he's obviously lost his left arm, and that's the one that always seems to be on the power. So I don't know, again, at the end of this whole series I'm going to talk about another possible theory, but we'll just stick with it being like zombies and the whole 115 and the groups and all that sort of stuff. So like I said, he's obviously went to investigate a certain area where there's been obviously a crash site for the element 115, and you know, obviously that's not from this world, as Takeo says. But I think what's happened is basically the crew and Rick Tofton has went to investigate that site because of obviously the whole, like, you know, possible power to alien, you know, rock, or a meteorite came out of space, you know, it could hold great power, and obviously the Germans wanted to manifest it into weaponry, and obviously that's where the whole giants come from and all that sort of stuff. However, what I will specify or point out at this point is, have you noticed how element 115 is orange, the same colour as the zombie eyes? Obviously later on, element 115 then becomes blue, as well as the zombie eyes. Now, is that because of the different timeline? Is it because of the multi-universe? Which I am going to actually touch on a bit, because I think this map, or this sort of space and time in the actual zombie storyline, is very pivotal for what actually happened. Because you see, you go to Derice and see how it hasn't got a time on, and have you noticed how the pack-a-punch machine is clearly like branded with obviously Nazi zombies? Now obviously that means the Nazis are obviously ruling Derice at this present time and moment. And have you noticed how the timer is set slightly behind the newer version of Derice, or should I say the Giant, which is on Black Ops 3. So obviously at this sort of pivotal time in history for zombies, it's set a little bit before when you go back on Black Ops 3, and it's like, because I think at the time is just before the actual, like, sort of 3 o'clock mark, and obviously I think because obviously the clock's ticking, I think it's stuck in sort of like, it's in like a small loop of say 15 seconds, which is why, you know, you don't really see like anything, nothing really moves or anything like that. You know, you're going back to that time and moment, because I think this is shortly after Rick Tofton sends Maxis and Samantha away. He puts them in he locks them into the teleporter, I think, and then he shocks them somewhere in time and space. And I think that's why when you're doing the Easter eggs on this map, you don't hear Rick Tofton's name. Sorry, that again. You don't hear Maxis' voice. Also, when you have to link up the teleporters, you don't need Maxis say, you know, you need to link up the power like he does in the newer version of the Giant. And I think what it is basically Rick Tofton's obviously got element 115. He's made the Wonder Waffle. He's seen the sort of power, the capability of it, and he's sort of got a bit power hungry, because obviously in this one he's sort of the bad guy. Now I will state that I don't even think that this Rick Tofton that's in this time period is the one that even gets shot in the Giant. I think this is a totally different Rick Tofton, because in Black Ops 3 there's a lot of quotes by Takeo and a couple of the others saying, if Rick Tofton actually knew how many Rick Toftons we'd killed, I've lost count now. I think this is maybe about the 7th. So that means that they've obviously been travelling back through time. And again, I'm going to come up to the multi-universe in a bit, and I'm going to leave a link in the description below for the actual video and the webpage, because I found this thing on, it's called Miniphysics, and it's an amazing little video, and it's coming up right now, and I'm going to let you actually listen to that. And basically I think what they've done is they went through time and space until they found a Richtofen that's a good Richtofen, and like I said, I'll leave the video to explain the rest.
That only one possibility happened because we'd be stuck on one of the branches, in a version of ourselves that only sees one possibility happen. In some ways, this sounds pretty fishy. I mean, it's hard to test the reality of a universe that hides its true nature from us by not allowing us to test or observe its true nature. But anyway, in the many worlds picture of quantum mechanics, branch points are predicted to happen all the time, everywhere. Pretty much any time subatomic particles interact with each other, or with anything else, anywhere in the universe, there are multiple possible outcomes, which means a lot of branching of history. There may even be infinitely many branches. So is the many worlds hypothesis true? We don't know. It hasn't yet been tested experimentally.
Yeah, so like we were saying there, there could be the possibility, or there's the potential chance to be endless universes, and I think that's what's happened here. I think what happens is, I think on this version of the Reach, I think Richtofen comes back, he's evil, he wants to rule the zombies, or he wants to rule 115, and he wants to basically make it his own, and I think that's why he puts Max's and Samantha into the teleporter. Now, when we go to the moon, I know that Samantha climbs inside Max's mind, and obviously, or the swap places, and I don't think he actually likes it, and that's why I think coming into Black Ops 2 and into those maps, that's why I think Richtofen tries to help Samuel to open the rift, because I think to open the rift is how they do like the multi sort of dimensional teleporting thing, and I think that's what Richtofen wants, because I think Richtofen maybe has a change of heart, or there's a different Richtofen contacting Samuel to open the rifts, and once the rifts are open, then they can travel from world to world until they actually find that good Richtofen, the clever one, that wants to like put everything right and wants to bring the group down, and I personally think that, again, I'm going to touch on this when I do the Shadows of Evil maps and stuff like that, I think that what the group are doing at this point in time of motion is they're just basically trying to survive, and Richtofen's sort of like leading them on, saying that he needs the help because he's trying to do something, but I think he's actually wanted to rule everything yourself, and I think that's what comes to head in the Moon map. However, that's this for this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to tune in for the next episode and see what twists and turns the story's going to have of our theory and how I believe the zombie map storylines panning out. So until next time, we'll hop into the road. Peace.